Hey everybody, it's Gomedex, and welcome back to another Arena Open Day 1. This time it is for the Magic the Gathering Foundations format. This is going to be a best-of-1 sealed event, a super competitive one where we're trying to get 7 wins before 3 losses. If we can do that, we qualify for Day 2, where we're playing best-of-3 draft with cash prizes on the line. Super high stakes, super competitive event. It's 5,000 gems or 25,000 gold to enter. The only way to even get your entry fee back is to get a 7-win run. But again, the reason it is so costly, so expensive, is that it's a super top-heavy prize out where you're potentially getting up to $2,000 if you make it all the way through undefeated. So very cool event. Without further ado, let's just hop back in there, see what we get to build with today. All right, 8 rare sealed pool. We've got the Leyline Axe we can put in our deck no matter what we're playing. We've got Sylvan Scavenging and Mossborn Hydra for solid green rares, and the Fiend Artisan, because of that hybrid mana, can also go in a green deck. So 3 green rares. Probably playing green here. Arabo's another really good one. It's super cheap, gets you a wide board state. 2/2/2s for 3 mana. If you have any other cat production, it's even better. Runescarred Demon is actually pretty solid and sealed. You can definitely make it to 7 mana in most games. Flamewake Phoenix, probably the weakest of our playable rares, but that's a lot of playable rares, and that's not bad at all. And then Brass's Bounties are only unplayable, so pretty cool stuff here. Probably just jamming green and seeing how it goes for us, but we'll make sure to take a peek at everything here. So for colorless, there is nothing in terms of multicolored or mana fixing in colorless, but we've got the Leyline Axe we can put in any deck. Even Meteor Golem we can kind of put in any deck. You can make it to 7 mana a lot more often in sealed than draft. So Leyline Axe, Meteor Golem goes into anything. And for our multicolored spells, a blue-white Flyers card and a blue-black value play. Both pretty excellent cards, but again, with the amount of power we have in our green, we're probably not heading in that direction. So let's see each color individually, though. Oh god, Double Cat Collector, Prideful Parent, Double Felidar Savior, Helpful Hunter. We have 6 really good cats in white and a Rabo? Never mind, I'm playing white. That is already potentially better than our green, and our green has multiple rares. Yeah, Double Cat Collector with like a Healer's Hawk that can trigger life gain every single turn is kind of insane. The removal's good here. We have 2 Luminous Rebuke. Make your move still playable, but certainly much more filler removal there. Yeah, Double Cat Collector, Helpful Hunter, Prideful Parent, Arabo, Double Felidar Savior to trigger the Double Cat Collectors. White's insane. White is so good here. Is our blue really good? No, I was gonna say, if our blue was as good as our white, we might have actually played blue-white Flyers here, but our blue is quite mediocre. There's literally not a single spell that's like super exciting. There's a Refute that's pretty good. And then there's black. Where we have that Rune-Scarred Demon at the top of the curve. We've also got a Stab for early removal and a Pilfer. Not exactly removal, but you can rip your opponent's best card out of their hand so they can't play it later, so it's kind of similar. It's got some pretty good creatures on curve as well as Blood Witch and Siphoner and Blight Priest to work well with our white, and Tragic Banshee adds to the removal. Not super hard to get a Morbid trigger and have this kill whatever you want at your 5 mana, so black-white definitely looks reasonable. But black does not look insane. Red has triple Burst Lightning. That's kind of all it gives us. But triple Burst Lightning's a lot. So if we have a primary color that has like 20 playables. So white has 33 minus 17, so it has like 16 playables. And that's if I play every single white spell, and I don't really want to play Twin Blade Blessing or Heir Apparent here. So that's more like 14 playables, yeah. So we'd have to run some filler red stuff, but the other red stuff is okay enough. I can play like a Gorehorn Raider over one of those, a Phoenix over one of those. Although Phoenix costing double red, if red is kind of a splash, it's not going to be helpful. I mean, Boros could still be a thing, but again, with just the sheer power of our green rares, Mossborn Hydra, and where's the other one? Oh, Sylvan Scavenging, it's a non-creature card. The sheer power of these cards, I think I'm just on green-white. If our blue was really good and it had multiple good flyers, we could have gone blue-white, but it doesn't. Red is close, because triple Burst Lightning. Red's pretty close. but I think I'm just jamming green-white here, and we'll get this deck built real quick. Probably not even playing Meteor Golem here. I think we're looking like we've got a great aggressive curve, and I don't really need the 7 drops. Oh yeah, I've got the Fiend Artisan in green as well that I totally forgot about. Not that Fiend Artisan is actually super, super great, but it's a very good draw in the late game. Okay. I could play a Rugged Highlands just to trigger our cat collectors because you have 2 copies of them. 49 cards. We can cut 9 out of here. How's our creature count looking? It's massive. Yeah, 24. So let's cut, what, 7 creatures? We'll still have 17 in here, which is plenty. So Heir Apparent with no other copies of Heir Apparent is literally a 2-mana 2/2 with no abilities. Just way worse than like a Gnarlid Colony even, and that's already kind of filler. Dwynen's Elite as well. We have 3 other elves in the whole deck. 1 Llanowar Elves, 1 Elvish Regrower, and 1 Beastkin Ranger. It's not going to trigger often, so I think we cut that. The rest of the 2-drops are all better than those. At 3 mana, I actually like all of these cards. There's no world in which I can cut Arabo, the Cat Collectors, or the Prideful Parent because of the excellent Arabo synergies there. But I can cut the Beastkin Ranger. That's pretty filler compared to the rest of these. Generally, I think it's actually pretty decent, but there's so many other good cards here. And I like that the Truffle Snout synergizes with the double Cat Collector, giving us those food tokens potentially. And of course, the Mossborn Hydra can just get insanely big in the late game, so we'll keep that in. I really like our 4 drops. Double Felidar Savior with this and many 2 and 3 mana creatures is great. We also have some that'll single-handedly trigger it. With Arabo, we've got 2 creatures on board. Boom. You can Felidar Savior those both up. With Prideful Parent, boom. Felidar Savior those both up. So that looks great in this deck. Flyers are really good and sealed, so I think Seraph is still good just for that. And we have good life gain triggers. The Snare Spinner's an excellent mana sink for sealed, and Regrower's really good. Graveyard Recursion, card advantage stuff. I did say we need to cut like 7 creatures, and I've still only cut like 3, but like I'm not going to cut Serra Angel because flyers are great and sealed. Maybe we just cut the top end cards like Ceratops and Meteor Golem. Those are certainly the most filler. And then this is still 19 creatures. We're just going to go ahead and cut some of these non-creatures because they're a little easier. Like Twin Blade Blessing is just not going to work. That's literally the only one that I want to cut though. I could cut a land for a Bushwhack, because we can always cycle this for 1 green mana and turn it into a land. So we'll go 16 lands and a Bushwhack here, especially because we cut everything that costs more than 5. But then I do have to cut 2 creatures. I don't think I can cut any of this removal. Make Remove's the weakest of it, but that's still only 4 removal spells, so I don't want to cut the Make Your Move. We're definitely never cutting the Rebukes or the Felling Blow. Never cutting the Leyline Axe or the Sylvan Scavenging. I think we actually have a lot of good fun synergies for Fiend Artisan. So if you have creature tokens, that's where this card becomes really good. Because then you like sack a token, spend 4 mana, get your best 3 mana creature. So imagine we have this on board and just like a cat collector. We could use our cat token and the Fiend Artisan to pull out the Arabo and then buff all of the cats. Like combos like that are pretty insane with the Fiend Artisan. And then of course, even if we like just played like a Resolute Reinforcements and got a token off that, and then we sack that to the Fiend Artisan, later we could like pull out a Mossborn Hydra and then play our land for turn. I think Fiend Artisan's actually going to be kind of legit in this deck. So I really don't want to cut that. I might cut like a 1-drop, or sorry, a 2-drop here, because we do have Llanowar Elves that'll jump over that now and then. And I think Gnarlid Colony's a little filler. Thespian's also a little filler. I think I'd cut Colony before Thespian. And 3 mana. As much as I love the Truffle Snout combo with the Cat Collectors, we gotta remove something. And I think without the Cat Collectors, Truffle Snout's one of the weaker cards in our deck in terms of synergizing with other stuff. Maybe the Seraph, maybe the Snare Spinner. Definitely not these. We have so many great cards that can end up in our graveyard to pick up. If they blow up a Cat Collector or an Arabo or a Hydra or an Artisan, being able to pick those back up is huge. Or even a Sylvan Scavenging if they have like a Maker Move, destroy an enchantment. I think Regrower is going to be pretty clutch here. So we just need to cut 2 creatures, and I think we're cutting some combination of this stack here. I think all these cards are good. but we've got to remove something here. I'm going to get rid of the colony first. That's actually the one that I would say is actually just not good. But the rest of these are good. It's just we have too much stuff in the deck right now. You know, this could be a bad idea, but I'm going to cut the Snare Spinner. I feel like we have enough mana sinky nonsense without it, because we have food tokens we'll want to use when we have a Cat Collector on board. We have the X mana Fiend Artisan. We have the 3 mana Leyline Axe we want to be moving on to things. It's not like infinite mana sinks, but I think we use our mana pretty efficiently. We just like curve out, and we have some other abilities outside of our creatures to use even without the Snare Spinner. I don't think we need the mana sink, but I could be wrong on that. If it plays pretty poorly, we could swap out maybe Truffle Snout for Snare Spinner later or something. This is a lot of 3s. Do I have enough life gain without a Truffle Snout? I mean, Cat Collectors don't need that much life gain to be good. They're good as soon as you've gotten like the first cat, let alone the second. And we have Healer's Hawk, we have Double Savior. I guess the Snare Spinner also plays really well with our Bushwhack. I'll go Snare Spinner over Truffle Snout. I don't want to cut any actual flyers, though. I think they're really good at breaking through board stalls, so we'll make those changes. 14 white cards, 9 green. I've got the double green Sylvan Scavenging, the double green Fiend Artisan, the double green Elvish Regrower, and the green can hit Bushwhack, which gets the white. So despite having more white than green, I still want to do a 50-50 mana base here and go into 8-8 splits with a Bushwhack. And this looks pretty excellent to me, so I'm very excited to hop into the gameplay and see how it does. Alright, here we are for game 1. 3 forests, 3 white spells, half the mulligan even with a Sylvan Scavenging. This is a keep, and Helpful Hunter can make up for the mulligan a little bit. I'm going to make sure I have the mana for this Fiend Artisan. We can sack the Helpful Hunter or the cat tokens from the Cat Collector. This thing is truly evil. I mean, you look at the artwork and it's going to be eating cats in our deck all the time. Such a twisted card for this deck. It's not my fault, it's the Fiend Artisan. It requests food. Now I've got the Rugged Highlands to trigger the Cat Collector. That could be pretty wild. Trigger the Cat Collector and play Fiend Artisan in the same turn if they don't kill it on turn 3. Sure. Let's set up for that. Let's get my double white out, because I'm going to get the double green. Oh wait, no, I'm not. I'm dumb. We need to play the untapped green so that I can play Fiend Artisan and Highlands next turn. I'm going to be pretty loaded on green mana. It's a little awkward, but I think it's worth potentially getting 2 cats out of the Cat Collector. Good Fortune Unicorn from our opponents. So every creature comes with a +1/+1 counter on their board. It's going to be scary. We got a Serra Angel for next turn now. We take those. Going to be good. Although I imagine I'm just going to Fiend Artisan for an Arabo here. Kind of have to sack the Helpful Hunter instead of the token, so that there's a creature engraved to make Fiend Artisan bigger. It's just strictly better than sacking the 1/1 cat. Alright, I've changed my mind. Spinner of Souls, especially as a 5/4, we kill that before they draw any cards off of it. Just instantaneously. I mean, they only draw cards off of it when their creatures die, so as long as they don't kill any of their other creatures yet. Yeah, I mean, it could turn one of their fight spells into a 1/1 instead of a 2/1 against them. I'm unsure here. I don't have the mana to grab a Rabo and eat this food. That would be really good. Yeah, I guess if they don't kill Fiend Artisan, then next turn I have the mana to both Fiend Artisan into a Rabo and eat a food, which would be pretty insane. They do kill Fiend Artisan, we can just play a Serra Angel. Okay. Big flyers now. That is sketchy. Hello, Leyline Axe, though. Do I actually have to try to work towards Leyline Axing up a Serra Angel? Okay, what can Fiend Artisan hit here? I could have 4. I could do X equals 5. I could hit any creature in my deck. Felidar Savior. Mossborn Hydra, maybe? Mossborn Hydra with a Leyline Axe on it. A Rabo for the wide board. And I imagine with Cat Collector here, a Rabo plus Eat of Food is the most power toughness I can put on the board here, but with Leyline Axe we might want to go big instead of wide. This is interesting. 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna grab the Arabo. Oh, I could go Cat Collector. Hold up. Cat Collector. Get 2 cats. I can still do that later. I guess it's slightly less cats total. One mana from playing and equipping Axe in the same turn. Maybe we hold off on Axe until we can do that. And for now, we're just like using Fiend Artisan, casting a spell each turn. If I have the mana to. I don't think there's a 2-mana creature in my deck I'd want to Fiend Artisan currently. Yeah, it's all 3 mana. I want to get a Cat Collector or a Prideful Parent here. Or a Felidar Savior at 4 mana would be good to... Banishing Light. The Fiend Artisan, fair. Don't have to worry about any Fiend Artisan shenanigans anymore. Basic land. You have my axe. Boom, 8 damage. They are down to 12. We're down to 12 as well. Block, block. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's lethal if they block here, block here. Some risk to this, but I have a follow-up Sarah Angel. So I'm still going to have a massive threat on the board after this. That open man is what makes this really concerning, but they had no responses moving to combat. Just insta, we're okay with it. Joust through. Okay, that's so good here. Yikes. Yeah. Okay, I still hit for 6. And I don't lose any of the tokens. Let's see them kill this gigantic Sarah Angel. One more threat they have to kill to win this game. If they can kill it, they will win. If they can't, they will lose. Oh no, do they have the put a counter on it, the Felling Blow thing that we've got in our deck? That'd be pretty gross. Angel Finality's not that. But now they could block with all of their flyers to kill this. But I'd kill all of their flyers too? Well, maybe not after Valkyrie and Unicorn. Yeah, we're only doing 10 damage. They have 14 toughness? Jesus. Okay, Death Touch Trample is a hell of a thing with a Snare Spinner. +1/+1 counters are kind of insane here too. Am I setting up for Death Touch Trample, or am I loading up the Sarah Angel? If I load up the Sarah Angel and they block like that, 12 damage. The only way they kill Sarah Angel is triple blocking with all their flyers. So I think I'm just sending it in. So they can't just like top deck a Banishing Light and ruin all the Sarah Angel plans. Now if they top deck a Banishing Light, we've still killed 2/3 of their flyers. Okay, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, kill these 2 4-power ones. They can keep the Valkyrie. Could kill the 2 5, or yeah, the 2 5 toughness ones. No, I feel like the odds of more angels to buff Valkyrie are probably low enough to do this. Guess I could still do it either way. Affectionate Indrik, fight the Snare Spinner. It's a good draw. I guess they needed the basic. They drew the basic to play that. That's gross. They still can't attack, or I crack back with a cat token. So we are officially in a top deck war. Who will draw the better? Healer's Hawk's a really good start. Yeah, they just drain me for 2 life every turn. God dang. Yeah, the Healer's Hawk is super, super good here. Speaking of, the Healer's Hawk is super, super good here. Now we are back to staring at each other. Nobody can attack anybody until someone draws something better. Land is not better. Prideful Parent is. That is big enough to put an axe onto and send it in. It's vigilant too. No, the Squad Rallier. That's still, God. I mean, it's still small enough I can send the Prideful Parent in, but that mana sink is very good. Guarantees they're going to draw a lot more creatures than me now. Yep, immediately hit Guarded Air? No, dude. Okay, well, Vanguard Seraph is something. I'm actually 1 mana off re-equipping this. That's awkward. Well, actually, no, it's not that awkward, because my 3/3 flyer can already... I'm happy to kill that. But I guess since it immediately hit 3 creatures, it doesn't matter as much. What a hit, the Guarded Air. But yeah, what I was going to say is I guess the not being able to re-equip Axe immediately is less awkward than I thought, because I can already just block the Healer's Hawk with a 3/3 flyer. Ooh. Oh, snap. Oh, they exiled everybody good? No shot. They exiled the Robbo and Cat Collector. Oh, because the Angel exiled my graveyard. Dude. Well, I can get a Sarah Angel and have exactly enough to recast her. Or I can axe up a Seraph and send it in. If I axe up the Seraph and send it in, they have no way to kill the Seraph. Oh wait, yeah, they do. They just block... No, it's 4 toughness. Never mind. They don't. They have no way to kill it. They have to block it at least a little bit, because it's 8 damage. I'm at 12. I can take the crackback, but they have life gain on the crackback. Oh, this is a game. And I hate it. I feel like we just get there with 2 swings, though. Because if just Vanguard Seraph swings twice, it's probably the kill. Yeah, they're going to be at 7. If they gain all their life, and if they gain all their life, their flying attacker is gone. If I Leyline Axe the Healer's Hawk, in theory, I block that and they don't gain any from their Healer's Hawk. I think I still have to regrower, though. It's so much better in the long run. Snare Spinner might be better than Sarah Angel here. This is weird, but it actually makes it more likely to lethal, I think, because of the +1/+1 counters onto the double striking trampler. Okay. It's got to be removal in hand for Seraph. Blocker's not going to work unless it's massive. Show me the removal in hand for Seraph, then. We just swing and then do things post-combat. After they prove it. Sure. This way all of our mana is still open. They have one card in their hand. If Felling Blow does not resolve, like if they have another bite down, that is horrific for me. I think I'm just slapping an axe up, stopping their life gain swing here. I probably should have still put this on Snare Spinner, because that also would have stopped their life gain, because we still first strike away the flyer. Yeah, I should have put this on Snare Spinner, then all my mana would be up to activate Snare Spinner next turn. Plus, they couldn't attack with these 4/4s. Yeah, that was a pretty bad equip. One card in their hand. Seven, 8, 9. I can activate Snare Spinner twice and Felling Blow once. I mean, activating Snare Spinner 3 times is already just the win, in theory. I mean, that's lethal. That's already lethal. I think I want to be able to equip Leyline to Snare Spinner if they blow it up. They blow up this Healer's Hawk. And that's 6 damage. Because of first strike. Okay. They didn't have anything else. Oh my god. Opponent really made us fight for that. We had like the Leyline Axe the whole time, a Snare Spinner lot, and I still felt wildly unstable there. Played that out pretty wrong. The Leyline Axe on the Hawk instead of Snare Spinner. We should have had that on Snare Spinner for just egregiously good blocks. First strike, Death Touch, Reach just blocks anything and kills it without dying, so I really should have had that on the defensive. Plus, it's still a great attacker. Obviously, the Death Touch Trample, meaning you only have to do 1 damage to each blocked creature and you get to trample everything else over, so first strike, Death Touch Trample is insane too. Really should have had Axe on Snare Spinner on blocks, but that was, I think, the biggest punt. Rest of it was just scary stuff. Tons of removal, trying to make sure we played around it. Crazy game. They like exiled most of our graves, so our regrower was not as good of a draw as I thought it was. Wild stuff. We are 1-0 heading into game 2. Here we are for game 2 with quite the curve out if we hit our lands. Prideful Parent into a Robbo or Felidar Savior. What? They've got the super fancy Llanowar Elves out of their sealed pool? That's sick. Oh, I guess they just got a Llanowar Elves in general, right? Because you just buy the card style and then all your Llanowar Elves look like this? Okay. That's less insane. Oh no. Helpful Hunter, give me the land, please. I beg you. Oh no. Bad draws are bad, but this hand is still really strong when it hits mana, and it's 1 mana away from being really strong. Dwynen. Oh boy. That's a horrific draw. That's like the most expensive card in our deck. Could be a quick one. Opponent's got the Llanowar Elf curve out, and we've got no mana off of the draws. Alright, show me that giant growth. Nope. Ooh, the Blood Thief to get counters. Plus the skeleton. Here's Prideful Parent, but it's not blocking enough. They've just got so much out because they spent so much mana here. Slamming creatures down each turn. They've hit every land drop plus ramp with elves. While we've been missing. I don't have time to wait for a Rabo. I think I take 6, and the Blood Thief gets bigger too. I don't think I can wait for a Rabo here. Okay. Two 2/2s onto the 3/4. Theoretically stable, but that requires them to have nothing but lands in hand. Let's see what they've got here. How much of a blowout is this about to be? Either way we double block, they're going to kill both of our creatures here. If a Rabo dies, I guess I have to do this. They've got the tricks too. Oh my god, it's Bite down to ruin our blocks? GG. We missed our lands too long here. 8 life, take 5 damage minimum. Literally no matter what I cast, if they have removal in hand, we're done on board. I think Arabo's our best bet if they don't have removal. Go to 1 is not 0. Jesus Christ, that means their hand is all spells still? Though? Okay, well now we're dead. That was brutal. I think that was 100% a keep. You just can't always draw lands. 1-1 heading into game 3. Alright, here we are for game 3. One of our slower hands, but it has good mana no matter what. Mossborn Hydra has arrived. Healer's Hawk. Feels pretty greedy to like Felling Blow then play a land here. I think I just play a land and then fell at our savior. Maybe I still Prideful Parent first. Hydra's still gonna get bigger without savior. And having 2 creatures on board to savior up does feel good. Sure. Johnny's Pridemate with the Healer's Hawk. That's pretty good. Can Felling Blow or make your move that soon enough. probably team make your move in a turn. Oh, they got instant speed life gain? No, fleeting flight, sure. Don't mind that. Our Mossborn Hydra's still here for now. Big Fin Bouncer bounced the Hydra, yep. That's really good. Easy, no blocks. Leyline Axe is starting to really get on my nerves. The mana investment on that thing is so much. If it's not in your opener. Like land 6 is just infinitely better as a draw here. I'm not under a lot of pressure if we clear that Pridemate out of here. It's just a Healer's Hawk is the only thing left. Kill that Horde before it makes any copies. Okay, Flyer is an issue. But at least it's not making any copies of Homunculus Horde. It's technically mana. Okay. I don't have the counterspell here. That is a huge draw. Got 6 mana up though. I mean, anything I play, I'm going to be sad when they counter it. Okay, no counter on Cat Collector. Cool. Okay, now the only counter they could have, never mind. I was gonna say now the only counter they could have is Essence Scatter. Nope, they could have Refute, because they played another island. Let's actually play Mossborn Hydra here. I'd actually rather they kill that than a Robbo. Wow. Leyline Axe secretly the worst card in the format. Despite staggeringly massively high 17 land stats. I think as soon as I play like one more land, I'll just send in the whole board. As soon as Hydra can attack an Icewind Elemental. Which might Might take a while. Okay, yeah, they're fully on blocks. They just hit a land. Okay, I don't quite want to attack with it here. Now that they're holding everything back and they have 5 power out there. Boom. But of course. Oh, we sent in the whole board. They kill a Robbo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Send the whole board. Cat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But they gain 2 life. I think we have to get this elemental out of the way. And there it is. Come on, dude. I'm tired, boss. Oh. Classic tiny bushwhack. We continue slowly dying to flyers. I know we've got a lot of outs here. Sylvan Scavenging would be insane. Bellatar Savior would be insane. Elvish Regrower would be insane. Vanguard Seraph would be insane. Treetop Snare Spinner would be insane. Luminous Rebuke number 2, Sarah Angel. That's like 6 cards I just listed that win the game. But here we are chilling. It's like a third of our deck at least. Straight up win conditions here. Oh, that's interesting. This one permanently becomes a land? That's kind of neat. That's what I was looking for. They've hit a lot of gas since I was hoping for this, though, so it's not as good as it would have been earlier. To lose the Cat Collector to get rid of the Icewind Elemental. Still think I do it. my god, why are Thespian's a cat too? This deck's even better than I thought. Just remember all the white cats. There we go. That's huge. Okay, that's huge too. Man, I feel like a compulsive gambler just sitting on the slot machine every time I play sealed because it always ends up in these top deck wars or like, oh, it's gonna be, and then it's like, oh no, now I'm losing money. Oh, I'm winning money. It's like it's so much just like who's gonna draw the goodies? Ooh. Super good with the Robbo on board. Robbo's nuts in this deck. Let's go. That's so big. Get to play all our rares now. If they kill both of these, you know what? I guess I keep the Sarah Angel to make raccoons and hold their flyers off. I was gonna say if they kill both of these, I could still put counters on Healer's Hawk and stuff. I think I'm getting a raccoon every turn. 11 cards left, I can kill them that fast. And they're still milling out before me, even if I mill that. Rather get raccoons than put a bunch of counters on Sarah Angel for when they inevitably kill the Sarah Angel. Oh dear. Well, I guess we still lose, because that is way better than Sarah Angel and Sylvan Scavenging. They could mill out. Genuinely. That might be our game plan now. Oh boy. That's a lot of stats. Okay, well, we found the Rebuke for the Exemplar here. Just make a raccoon and pass them. Dang, the Healer's Hawk is too big, though, if I don't rebuke the Eagle. I guess I can rebuke the Exemplar and trade into the Healer's Hawk. And I only have 1/2/2 Healer's Hawk for flyers. Alright, well, now we have to just mill them out, because even if I blow up Exemplar, they're still drawing 4 cards. Okay, you got it. Draw 5, and then I'm going to let them draw an Exemplar card off Healer's Hawk. I'm just trying to mill them. God dang it, dude. If it's double removal, we're dead. I couldn't stop them from drawing at least 4, which still could have hit both those. The only way to survive is to kill Exemplar of Light and take 7. Go to 1, and then I don't kill them on the crackback, and then I die. Because they're at 29 here. I understand, opponent. What do I have left? Do I have cards to top deck here? Regrower or Snare Spinner are big. I don't think either leads to lethal. I can Regrower a Leyline Axe for, let's see, 7, 6, 10, 11. I would have the mana for that, but I don't think I have the damage output for that to matter. I still think Healer's Hawk on bottom is my most likely chance to win, because if I Rebuke Exemplar, they still have 2 cards left. I take 7, go to 1. I don't survive another swing, even with 1 Healer's Hawk as a blocker. Yeah, I have to bottom this. I don't think I have anything that matters, but maybe I do. Maybe I'm missing some Regrower line I could do. Do they get to draw into all of that and or refute? And a combat trick? No. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I have 25 power. It's not happening. Sure. That is the Regrower. Gained 3. I'm still at 4 and I still die. There's no way to mill our opponent. Got no lifelinker to put the axe on. Yeah, there's nothing. Oh, it's tilting to play like a 40-minute game like that. For the whole thing to just be a big roulette spin the entire time. 1 and 2, heading into game 4. I can turn 0 or Leyline Axe if I choose to have a hand with no castable spells, which is not worth it. These draws. Arena does not want me to day 2 this time around. I'm going to do one more run after this, but I'm not doing more than 3 attempts here. Finding myself instantaneously sealed it out this time. The way these games are going. Alright, nice surveil. If they burst lightning or abrade this cat collector, I still have a second one I can draw into to get value out of the food. Vanishing Light, not a bad removal spell to hit, because we can make your move and then still get 2 cats out of that later. Speaking of getting 2 cats, we might get a taste of our own medicine here and get absolutely slammed by a turn 3 Arabo. Okay. It's gonna be competition here. Yep, Arabo and Felidar Savior, one of the most busted curves that we were talking about. Buff up the Arabo and the cat token and get another cat token. Yeah, this is already egregious. There's the rebuke for the Arabo. Turn too late, but I think we still have to do it. I suppose the odds of a Boros deck having a way to counter this is really low. The problem is I have to spend 5 mana on it if they don't attack with a Rabo, and they're not going to attack with a Rabo, so I'm not going to eat any food, and I'm not going to get any cats. And that's going to look super suspicious, but it is what it is. It's still better to maybe be able to, like, eat their 1/1 cat by blowing up a Rabo and then blocking with a 3/2. Oh my god, dude. Oh, I had to kill that for it to not trigger. I forgot I can't kill after that resolves and they choose where to put the counters and still stop them from getting a cat token. I wanted to wait to theoretically, like, they're going to put a counter on a Rabo and then I kill it, but I needed to just kill it immediately. Alright, well, at this point, it resolves either way, so I might as well hold off on Rebuke again to make the cat tokens smaller when they go to the combat. Trade 2 1/1s into a 2/2. But obviously it would have been better to kill a Rabo here, because then we would have killed a Rabo and another 1/1. It's not massively worse to do this, because now we're killing a 2/2 we wouldn't have killed otherwise, because they wouldn't have attacked with that. But it is a punt, just a mild one. Double Banishing Light, double Felidar Savior, a Rabo is the opener. And I thought 2 Cat Collectors was good. That's sealed, baby. Let's set up for a multi-block on a bigger Felidar Savior later. Seer Slicer Goblin 2 for another creature every turn. Fiend Artisan is a huge deal if we can stick around long enough. Yeah, get your Goblin. Fiend Artisan is sorcery only. Red is super good against green removal spells because they could burn away our creature before it resolves, but it looks like they did not have a way to. Maybe Fiend Artisan for all our bombs can slowly stabilize us. Everybody but me has been opening Guarded Airs. Card is a problem in Sealed. Okay, I can get any creature in my deck. Sarah Angel or Treetop Snare Spinner feel like a pretty big deal. Felidar Savior is kind of a big deal, and with the Arabo trigger, it's going to replace the cat token. So I don't mind hitting a Felidar Savior either. Or a Prideful Parent. Let's go Felidar Savior. That potentially gets Cat Collector triggers too later. Through a possibility, discard a card, draw 2. Frenzied Goblin can shut off 1 blocker a turn. There's the natural Prideful Parent. Still have the mana for another Felidar Savior here. Don't have the mana for Serra Angel this turn anymore. Fiend Artisan Arabo Wombo combo is wild. Wild stuff. So Luminous Rebuke I could use mid-combat. The other Cat Collector's in a Banishing Light. I can't get anything that saves it from that. Just get a Serra Angel or a Regrower. I think I just post-combat get a Regrower, play a Savior. I guess I'm 1 mana off from doing that, but... yeah, send this in, lose it, and replace it with a new cat seems fine. Chip away at them. Get more creatures in grave for Artisan to be a little bigger too. I don't think I'm going to rebuke any of this. Looks pretty good already. So we'll save that for Nightmare Scenarios. And that's a Nightmare Scenario. I literally can't win if that's still around. And by literally, I mean literally on this card. And they've got the Incinerating Blast for Serra Angel, so we'll grab the Regrower. Probably start getting in with Fiend Artisan soon. Probably after I grab Regrower, we just start attacking with it. With the Artisan. That's a good draw. I get a cat off that. They're not going to go Swamp Burglar Rat here, so I will play my land. Okay, Resolute Reinforcement since they're playing off the top. Fiend Artisan Arabo is an egregious combo. It has managed to pull us way back into this game after an insane start from our opponent. The no interaction for these two together was really lucky for us. I mean, I guess they did spend 2 Banishing Lights before we assembled this Wombo combo, so... okay, they're just getting a raid trigger here, go for it. Yep, 2 damage to a Rabo. Okay, we're still doing fine. On blocks. I think I'm getting the Hydra. I guess I could get the Snare Spinner if I play the land first. Well, let's get the Hydra. Upgrade. We probably have the slightly better board on the ground right now, but we're at 20 here, so we have time to make ours better than theirs, which we can do pretty easily. I mean, just playing lands already does that off Mossborn Hydra, but especially once we get the Spider here. And that's 4 mana for the Spider. Maybe I'm just supposed to juice up the Mossborn Hydra there before playing the land. Just double counter it and then play the land would be better. Either way, really insane board state for the end game. The Fiend Artisan, so good in that kind of game. Yeah, 2-2 here. I really thought we were out of it at 2-3 there. And we still very well could get out of it real quickly. We only have 1 loss to give. We have to get 5 wins in a row. Unless we're actually 3-2. We might be 3-2 here. Either way, we need a lot of wins in a row here. Again, I mean, looking through the deck list, looking at how the end game played here, I think this deck's really strong. And I think this is the build we should be going for with this sealed pool. Maybe, fingers crossed, maybe there's a chance we can turn this around, rally into a bunch of wins in a row. We're going to have to fight our absolute hardest here. Yeah, we're only 2-2. We almost went 1-3 and out. 2-2 heading into game number 5. Sand has potential to be super, super powerful. It's not quite as strong as a Rabo into Felidar Sovereigns that just immediately start triggering Rabo again. But the cat collectors do give us cat tokens that get buffed by a Rabo. Those cat tokens won't trigger a Rabo again or anything like that, though. If they attack in, I'm going to be pretty happy here. Massive value from Resolute Reinforcements. We'll take that. Even if this eats a combat trick, that's such a good deal. Alright, great stuff from Reinforcements. And there's Beastkin Ranger. I suppose in a deck with... in a deck with Fiend Artisan in it, we're probably supposed to actually block with the creature instead of the token first. Usually you always want to block with the token first because it's easier to deal with a token because like bounce spells kill it and stuff like that. But I think when we care about what's in our grave, it's better to do things the other way around. Alright, we're popping off. Opponent's kind of popping off too. Not quite as well, but they're still working on it. Hello there. Let's make the most of our mana here. Sure, banish a Rabo. I still have 2 cat collectors with 2 food tokens. Can also Banishing Light a Rabo at an opportune moment. And that could be a little bit of a blowout. Alright, they probably kill 3 cats here. Okay, so I make your move to save a Rabo costs me 3 mana. I'm going to have 5 here. So I'm going to sack this, get 2 cats back, and use a make your move. So that's what I'm doing my 5 mana on. So I don't want to lose a cat collector because I'm going to make 2 more cats here. But I am good to lose some cats. Because I'll get a lot back. I get 2 back, and then a Rabo gets 1 back again. Sure. This looks like a 4-for-1, but they're all tokens that were accrued from just extra value off of other stuff, so it's really just 1.5 for 1 or something. A pretty good giant growth, but certainly not the end of the world. Murray Thespian. Pretty bad against the double cat collector. Let's see if this all resolves. Feels good. Looks good. We get the trade there since the giant growth's out of the way. And here's that fantastic Felid Our Savior Arabo play. I suppose, no, it's still better to get the cat collectors rolling here. Or keep the cat collectors rolling. This deck, my lord. This format, though, like, I'm having plays like this and still feeling like it's anyone's game. And still getting crushed. Still 2-2. Everybody's got trample now. It's a 5-5. That's big. Speaking of big, I could just jump into the sky right now, but I could also get 4 cats on this board. A Thespian, a Saver, and 2 Arabo triggers. Let's just make sure, as long as Arabo's still out here, we're getting maximum Arabo value. Thespian still trades into literally everything on their board. Let's get one of these to 3/3 stat. Okay, how bad is that for me? Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage, put that many +1/+1 counters on it. It must survive to get the counters. Okay, we can't let anything survive ever. And they can just keep recasting this from their grave? Yikes. So we're forced into killing things. I guess during our turn it doesn't do anything. Oh man. So I need to have the blocks up to block with everybody. All the time. They get to clear out 8 power and toughness from my board with this Quillworm and then just recast it. Well, unless they immediately top deck something, we just put a 2/2 here and trade. They're probably just digging for the Surveil here. But we will see. Okay. They are just surveilling. Elvish Regrower, hello there. Doesn't actually do anything right now, but it is a really nice little piece of backup to have. They have 4 blockers, 5 blockers. If they block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they take 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, if everything does 2 damage on average. Eight, 13, let's see, 18, 23, 26, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 6. Yeah, we've got enough power. If a Rabo dies, we almost kind of lose immediately. Okay, that's pretty good. Certainly doesn't kill a great worm, but getting rid of their trample's probably best. And getting rid of the unicorn also could be good, so they don't get counters on everybody else they're playing. Unicorn or Gnarlid Colony for sure. Let's go Gnarlid Colony. Now if a Robo dies, we're not as dead. We can actually chump, even if we will be buffing their stuff. They're 3 turns from dead. They are 4 turns from dead. Now this is why we chill with the regrower. Ooh. They're back to 3 turns from dead. It's going to be a 2-swing lethal. 5, and then I can do 8 next turn. Oh, that card's good. That's a little bit stronger than Elvish Regrower. Oh, we're so domed by Celestial Armor. When on Great Worm or Felid, our savior, they just handedly win the game from here. I guess they have to do it on Savior because Snare Spinner can kill Great Worm, but they have enough counters to recast Great Worm. Format's absolutely brutal. Gain freaking 7. Never outracing them if that stays around. And that's like our only hope now. Go wide around everything. Just can't. Great Worm Celestial Armor too strong. 1 Robo's not enough to beat those 2. Jesus H. Christ. Oh, this format, man. The fact that you can get outclassed like that when you've been like a Robo Cat collector in the whole game. Just with this level of insanity. 2 and 3 with this sealed pool. I was inaccurate when I called it earlier, but I am almost 100% confident this is over now. Sure, have a 28-26. Two and 3 it is. Most of those games were incredibly long, drawn-out board stalls, so it is possible somewhere there we could have attacked turn over turn and based on their draws tried to pull out lethal, but it would have been risky stuff each time. Unfortunately, this sealed pool, outside of like the Leyline Axe, really... I mean, the Leyline Axe and the Sylvan Scavenging, it really doesn't have a way to like break through a big board stall like that. Like, we don't have a +2/+2 to everybody. We don't have a Day of Judgment or anything like that, so... I'm pretty sure this is like the best build we could have got out of the sealed pool. There was nothing we had that would have helped in these big board stalls. But yeah, if we had a copy or 2 of the like +2/+2 to everybody, like siding that in for the future games after we see all these board stalls happen, that could have actually been pretty huge. But I guess our deck is theoretically already well set up for board stalls, because you can get Fiend Artisan, and if you get Fiend Artisan, you just get all the best creatures in your deck, like the Snare Spinner. Snare Spinner's already set up well for board stalls. Sarah Angel's good for board stalls. Leyline Axe is good for board stalls. Sylvan Scavenging is good for board stalls. But it just has not played out like that for us. Two of those games were just massive board stalls into losses. I think the two wins were massive board stalls into eventually managing to win. And our other loss was just never hitting the mana. Just kept a really powerful two-lander that I think there was no way to justify mulliganing that. Like, sure, it only had two lands, but it had like a Robbo Cat Collector or something like that, or a Robbo Felidar Savior. I don't remember the exact hand, but we kept that powerful hand. Our opponent just aggro curved out, and we didn't hit lands, so that's just bound to happen. Yeah, I don't know. This was a really long one because all of those super big board stalls. So again, maybe there were places that we could have found other lines, got more damage in there that I didn't notice. I definitely did not realize until like halfway through this event that a Robbo makes more cats when you play more cats. So there were some games where I played like there was at least one game I played Prideful Parent before the Robbo because I figured that way we have the stats on board to buff and we get immediate Robbo value even if they instantly kill a Robbo. But because a Robbo makes another cat, when you play those cats, you should probably always play a Robbo first. So I know there was at least that was a misplay. And then I know there was another thing that was a punt that I brought up, although I don't think mattered enough to affect the game. It was where we could have rebuked before they played a Robbo. Yeah, surprisingly, I thought it was not going to matter because I thought we were going to lose that game no matter what. Where I could have rebuked the Robbo before the Felidar Savior resolved. But instead, I really wanted to kill a cat token, so I rebuked after they attacked with a cat token to make them small enough to trade in and then kill the Robbo. Um, and I thought it was going to matter because I thought their curve out was just so good there was no way we were coming back. And then it didn't matter in the other way that we just still won through that punt. So I mean that was a definite punt we could have done better. I'm really trying to think of in the losing games though, where were the alternate lines we might have been able to do something. I'm not sure. I'm pretty confident with this sealed pool that this is the direction we were supposed to go. This is just about the right deck to play. It's the gameplay where things might have been able to go a bit different, but I really don't see where. 2 and 3 it is. Second time was not the charm, but we've got a third run coming up. We'll see if we manage to make it in to the Arena Open Day 2 this time around, but right now we are getting absolutely slaughtered, even with insane decks, even with really synergistic curve outs. Just does not matter. Sealed will do that to you. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more on your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.